Before you learn how to create or modify a collaboration site, you need to have a basic understanding of SharePoint. SharePoint sites are available through the internet like all other websites. However, SharePoint sites have a few basic differences. Most regular websites have limited interaction and functionality. Basically, this includes the use of shopping carts or the inputting of personal data. SharePoint collaboration sites have enhanced interaction and functionality available to the user. This includes downloading files such as Excel or Word documents, modifying files, and uploading changes. Anyone can visit and view a normal website. All they need is an internet connection. By design, SharePoint sites have limited accessibility and can only be used by a person who has been granted permission by the site owner. Regular websites use terms common to everyone. The terminology that SharePoint uses is slightly different than regular websites and can be confusing. Let's compare parts of websites and see the difference with them in SharePoint's terminology. A website on the internet calls its main page the home page. SharePoint calls the home page the parent site. During this training, the parent site may be referred to as the home page. On the internet, other pages on a website, such as About Us, Contact, or Products, are linked to the home page and are simply known as pages. Additional pages on a SharePoint site can be created as subsites, web part pages, or wiki pages. These will be explained in detail in Modules 2 and 4 of this training. On the internet, navigational links are often found on the left side of a website page or across the top. SharePoint has navigational links near the top of the page in the area known as the top link bar, but also has an area on the left known as the Quick Launch. Depending on the page you are on, the Quick Launch links may change. On the internet, the website address or URL begins with www. Then the name of the site, such as www.youtube.com. A Battalion SharePoint collaboration site always begins with http://span.usac.army.mil/sites, then the rest of the address. Spaces were used on this slide to make it easier to read the URL. Never use spaces in a URL. There are two types of SharePoint sites. They are an intranet site, shown on the left, and a collaboration site, shown on the right. The intranet site contains information that does not change often, and only the Battalion SharePoint administrators can change the intranet site. If you see information that needs updated on the intranet site, contact the IMO or AMPA. Every work unit and company in the Battalion has had a collaboration parent site or home page created for them. This allows them to share documents in an interactive online environment. The owners of the site can add a subsite, modify the parent site, add pages, and set site permissions. You are probably an owner of your collaboration site, which is why you are receiving this training. Your parent site and all subsites and pages you create under it are collectively known as your site collection. Since intranet and collaboration sites are used throughout USAREC as well as in the Battalion, if you are visiting a SharePoint site and need to verify which type of site you are on, look at the website address or URL. Intranet sites have the word pub in the URL, and collaboration sites have the word sites in the URL. For the remainder of this training, we will always be discussing collaboration sites. Let's take a quick look at how you navigate a SharePoint site.
Starting in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a Site Actions button. Depending on the permissions you've been granted for your team site, some of these actions may not be available to you, but by clicking on it, you would be able to see what actions you have available. To the right of that button, you'll see a Navigate Up button. This button is very handy to go up or to higher locations within your team site. The top location in your team site is your home page. Again, depending on permissions, you may be able to edit the page. You'll have a Browse tab up at the top and a Page tab as well. The Page tab, if I click on it, will come up with a ribbon that has certain commands on it. So I'll go back to the Browse. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the site logo, and then you'll also see what's called a breadcrumb trail, and it will tell you where you're located. And as we go farther, we'll see other items in our breadcrumb trail. And the breadcrumb trail is useful for going back to specific locations or just to see where you're located. Underneath that, you'll have your navigation bar, which will tell you the sites that you have available to you. In our case, we have only the home site, but you could have sub-sites also on your team page, and they would be listed to the right of your home button. All the way to the right, you'll see that you have search capabilities to search for information within the site, and also you have a help button. On the left-hand side, you've got your quick launch bar, which is a way to get to different locations within your team page. Team pages are made up of libraries and lists. Those are the building blocks of your team page. To the right of your quick launch bar, you've got your site introduction, which gives you the title and any description about your team site. And this one also has a web part for shared documents. The shared documents can be gotten to specifically from the quick launch bar on the left-hand side, but you can also see the shared documents here on the home page. This also has a site image on the right-hand side, which might be your company logo. Finally, let's talk a little bit about navigating. If I go into one of my lists, and I'll go into the calendar list, it will open up a calendar view. Notice the breadcrumb trail up at the top now has us going into the calendar. Also, at the very top, next to Browse, you'll see Calendar Tools. So if I click on Events, I can create new events on my calendar. I can delete events if I need to. And on the Calendar tab, I can see different views of my calendar. And I can go into different settings as well. If I go back to the Browse tab, I'll see my breadcrumb trail. And if I want to get back to my home page, one way is to click on the Espresso Yourself Coffee title. And this will bring me back to my home page. If I clicked on a library, such as the Shared Documents library, I'll be in that view. And again, I'll have tabs up at the top, one for documents, for creating new documents or uploading, creating folders. And I have a library tab as well. And this is where I could go for different views or different settings. I can go back to the Browse tab, and again, I will see my breadcrumb trail to show me where I am, and I can use this to go back, if I wanted to the home page. I can also click on the Home link on the navigation bar. And this will take me back to my team site's home page.
Let's recap. A site's navigation includes a URL or website address, a Site Actions drop-down menu, a Navigation Up-folder, navigation tabs, a breadcrumb trail, a top link bar, and the quick launch area. Another way to navigate on SharePoint that wasn't included in the navigation video is through links. These can be internal or external links that you put on a page through the use of a web part or in the text on the page. Note, a web part is no more than a container that can be placed anywhere on a page and can hold a variety of information. Internal links could be links to other parts of the battalion's intranet site, such as a link to area flyers that are on the AMPA section. External links could be links of interest to your work unit, such as links to the high schools located in a company area. There is no limit to the number of links you can provide. Though the preceding slides showed the tools for navigation, the actual page of a site is shown in red on this slide. This area often displays information found in a list or library. So how does someone find the battalion's collaboration sites? The battalion has a main collaboration page with links to all battalion collaboration sites. As you can see, each work unit and recruiting company has its own collaboration site. This is the page you should bookmark and use to enter battalion collaboration sites. However, for quicker access, you can bookmark other unit site pages you visit often. If someone clicks on a link and is denied access, that means the site owner has not given them permission to view or use the site. As the site owner, make sure you grant permission to everyone that you want to use your collaboration site. This will be covered in Module 5. Now let's talk about the 3 different ways you can use a collaboration site. The name itself tells you its purpose, to collaborate with others. Collaboration sites allow you to share calendars, lists, documents, etc. Add subsites under your home page to share files and or collaborate with other work units in the battalion on specific projects, documents, or issues. Create temporary workspaces for collaboration with other work units. And share documents that were normally shared via email. Let's quickly cover the things you cannot share on your collaboration site. Your collaboration site should not contain any of the following: confidential documents, links to unauthorized websites, personally identifiable information, and unauthorized copyrighted material. This includes photos or videos from the internet. Generally speaking, the content you put on your collaboration site needs to follow all USAREC and Army SOPs as they relate to the Privacy Act, operational security, and social media. Now let's see how you can develop and maintain your collaboration site. To do so, you need to understand the common elements of a SharePoint site. Let's look at them in detail. The 5 most common elements of SharePoint websites are the parent site, known as the home page, subsites, site pages, lists, and libraries. The parent site acts as the site's home page. It controls the permission level for all subsequent pages and can share libraries with lower-level pages. A subsite acts as an additional site under the home page. It can inherit the home page permissions or have its own unique permissions. It cannot share libraries created in it with the home page or other subsites under the home page, and once deleted, it cannot be recovered. Site pages are created as either a wiki page or web part page, are stored in libraries, and are inherently part of a site or subsite collection. They inherit permissions from the site that the page gets created in. If deleted, they can be recovered, and they can display lists of information that visitors can personally organize, such as by subject, due date, or author. For example, on site pages, users can filter the content to see only the set of information that applies to them, hide information that doesn't interest them, change the order in which the information is listed, and set up customized views to make it easy to focus quickly on pertinent information. Note, creating pages rather than subsites provides for easier sharing of documents and eliminates the need to duplicate documents in other libraries. The next common element is lists. Lists provide information in a variety of forms, such as a spreadsheet, a Word document, a calendar, etc. Lists can have attachments. They allow for sorting, column creation, and other functionality. They have major versions only and do not have checkout, check-in features. The last common element is libraries. A library is a special type of list. Lists and libraries are almost interchangeable. Libraries cannot have attachments. The files are directly in the library. They are used to store site pages and documents. They have both minor, draft, and major published versioning, and allow for a checkout, check-in for editing. A library is no more than an empty container until you put site pages or other documents in it. Both lists and libraries are accessed through the Quick Launch area. Now, let's look at the battalion's site hierarchy. As you can see, the battalion's home page includes links to all battalion subsites. These subsites are each work unit's home page. Each work unit's home page can have an unlimited number of subsites and unlimited number of site pages. So what exactly are the steps you should take to develop and create your collaboration site? Here are 4 easy steps to help you develop your collaboration site. 1. Have a brainstorming session to determine the information you want to share. 2. Categorize the information. Determine if it needs to be a document in a library, part of a list, a link, or just text on a page. 3. Create needed pages, libraries, lists, and subsites that will display the information. And 4. Grant permissions to users. This training module covers items 1 and 2 in more detail. Now, let's look at a fictional company to see how to create a collaboration site. We'll call the company 5 Delta 5. Collectively, the company commander, first sergeant, and center commanders became the planning committee. They had a brainstorming session and determined they wanted their site to contain the following items: a company calendar showing major events such as meetings, future soldier events, training, etc. Helpful links to internet and battalion subsites such as S3, AMPA, local schools. A list of all company recruiters and phone numbers. a workspace to develop programs such as possible future soldier training and spousal support, a message board for the company commander for a monthly recap or welcome to the company, and a place to share creative recruiting ideas such as teaming up with coaches or how-to ideas and community volunteering. Next, they categorized the items, determined which ones would appear on their homepage, which ones would be subsites, which ones would be pages, and which ones would be links. Their site hierarchy looked like this: the home page with a calendar, links, and message board, a workspace subsite, a discussion subsite, and a site page that contained contact phone numbers. Now let's see how this new collaboration site looked and how a user would navigate it. When they were finished, their site homepage looked like this. You can see the title at the top identifies it as the 5 Delta 5 collaboration site. So let's see where they placed the items they wanted on the site. Area 1 includes 2 subsites, one to develop programs and one to share creative recruiting ideas. Area 2 is a link to the page that shows the recruiters' phone numbers. Area 3 is the company commander's message board. Area 4 includes internal and external links to AMPA flyers, local school websites, and in and out processing checklist. And Area 5 included a company calendar of major events. Note, Areas 3, 4, and 5 are web parts and can be moved or placed anywhere in the page area shown in green. This training module covered the basics of SharePoint. As a site owner, you need to thoroughly understand how SharePoint is designed to work. To learn more, use this link. For your convenience, a summary of each training module with links to additional online training and a quick reference guide can be found on the Battalion's collaboration homepage in the Quick Launch area.